Hello there, welcome to my review of Memories of Murder, a 2003 South Korean movie directed by Bong Joon, who you may know as the director of Parasite. Memories of Murder is a mystery thriller based on the true story of South Korea's first known serial killer, who started murdering women in the late 1980s. The story follows three detectives, all with their own quirks and shortcomings, trying to overcome their differences and egos to apprehend the murderer. The movie feels raw and not glamorous in the slightest. It showcases the brutality of the case these men are trying to solve and the detrimental effects it leaves on them in such an honest way. You really feel like you're there with them. That's the movie's strongest point, the mental toll that trying to solve this case leaves on the detectives. While a lot of films of this nature tend to focus on the mystery and less on the emotions, Memories of Murder manages to strike a near perfect balance of the two, as the film is more about the obsessive nature of detectives solving an impossible case than about the case itself. The movie feels very subjective in a way, as we watch them try any and all theories to find the killer, while also feeling perfectly objective in its unglamorous portrayal of these detectives. The three leads all feel fleshed out and distinct from one another. They aren't fleshed out in terms of specific facts that we know about them, their names aren't even really spoken that much, but their actions give the three of them believable personalities, and that means the heavy emotional beats can work as intended. If these characters weren't so notable and didn't feel like such real people, why would the audience care when they become so distraught at this ongoing investigation? But a very carefully written script and nuanced performances really bring them to life. The script and direction really pave the way for fantastic performances, especially by the two main leads, Song Kang-ho, who you'll remember from Parasite, and his co-star, Kim Sang-kyung, playing the begrudging transfer from Busan. The dynamic these two characters have is both interesting, frustrating, and entertaining all at once. The actors do a great job. That's not to take away from Bong Joon-ho's accomplishments behind the camera though, as his direction isn't glamorous or fancy, but a very personal look into the lives of the detectives as they try to solve this case. The emotional element that this film has really separates it from others in the genre, and the script feels so precise. Bong Joon-ho and his co-writer Shin Sung-bo really did a great job at fleshing out the characters and making you buy into the emotional beats, as they never feel cheap or unearned. Another notable element that helps the story is the uncensored brutality of the murders, as the camera never shies away from showing the horrific state these women are left in by the murderer. I'm not someone who thinks the movie needs violence or excessive gore to be compelling, but when we see the characters reacting the way they do, seeing what they see really lends to the credibility that they'd act like that. It's authentic, both to the story and the events the film is based on. On the technical side, the movie features some fantastic camera work. The cinematography, the framing, and the mise-en-scène had me really impressed throughout. A great example would be a long take near the beginning. It takes place at a crime scene where a dead body has been found, and we follow our lead detective as he tries to control the area. There's reporters getting in the way, nosy civilians, and incompetent cops he has to deal with, and it's all filmed with zero cuts. This filming style really immerses you in the chaotic scene, and makes you feel like you're right there with him. It was extremely effective. The camera work throughout is excellent though, and it's yet another huge reason why the film is as compelling as it is. One of the most crucial aspects of any movie is the ending. Whether or not a film sticks the landing will greatly determine how you view it once the credits roll. So, does Memories of Murder stick the landing? I'd say absolutely does. Since the real-life murderer hadn't been found when the film was made, in fact, it took another 16 years before he would be, we don't get a conclusion to the mystery, but rather a terrifying realization by the protagonist and then subsequently the audience. The way the scene plays out is fantastic and the final shot is excellent. That's all I'll say. Ultimately, I wouldn't say Memories of Murder would be for everyone. A fan of detective films, thrillers, or Bong Joon-ho's other work? Absolutely give it a watch. But the unflinching gore and inherently disturbing subject matter will definitely deter certain viewers. However, if this review has made you even slightly interested in giving it a watch, I highly recommend that you do. You won't regret it. I love films that give you something to think about long after they end, and this film is one of them. So that's my review. Have you seen Memories of Murder? Let me know what you think if you have. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more reviews just like this one, coming soon.